on that. I don't know if we can do that today, but I want you to note that one. Another parent now is just terrified out of her wits. She said she was going through a particular textbook for her child and came through what she thought was educative material that are not duly suited to a child of that age. And she raised concerns. You can imagine what happened. The very same thing. The threat. She made another video and literally just panicked about how much threat she's getting, even after she took down the video. Because according to her, she's saying, my intent is not to spoil it for anybody, but now, even after taking down the video, I'm still having people threaten me. And God bless Inabong. Inabong is also the lawyer who went to the aid of the woman who made the video about bond bread and got detained, right? And then he has also offered his services for this woman who made a video about the content, educational material content for her child, and thought, wait, isn't there something wrong about this? I went to school and this was not the kind of details that we had. I had to, go watch other videos, particularly, videos in America about, how people review products. The first video I watched, the name of the company, the ingredients, the labeling, and an actual, this does not make my list. So if you think my opinion on anything is worth anything, don't buy this bread. Literally. First video I watched. So I thought, well, should we discuss bread? Should we discuss the mentality by which the Nigerian people conduct themselves? I think the latter is better. This mentality, the way we do things, and how, is it out of fear or is it arrogance that makes us, just threaten people like that? Because to be honest with you, particularly when we can establish that the motive is not to destroy the business, which kind of makes rational sense. If it's a review, why do you use to sue a person for having an opinion? Well, that's in the news, and I thought we should also look at that and even analyze the content for which the woman made the video and raised concerns about. We should look at that. I think this morning the Ministry of Education put out a public notice that they were going to be grading books. I thought that was a very good follow-up. I hope it's not coincidental. I truly like that that's happening. I don't know if we have time for that today, but I want you to note that. And then Senate. So last week, because of insecurity, Senate seeks campaign suspension in 8 northern states. I think we should talk about that. Does that kind of displace the civic responsibilities of Nigerians who live in those states? Would they be disenfranchised? How does this affect the Nigerian politically? Because of course they have to vote, and if the Senate is so concerned about insecurity that they are willing to suspend election campaigns in some states, well, maybe much more needs to be done. But of course, I'm trying to pick your brain on that one. In the news also would be Nigerian students this time around in Russia. You remember the conversation, I think we had this last year, a video that made its way to social media. I think it was VDM who went to Morocco during the World Cup and spoke to some Nigerian students who conveyed to him, expressed their dislocation from the actual educational system due to the fact that the government is supposed to give them some money and the government has not been able to do that for whatever reason. They've been trying to reach out to the government but gotten no response. So given the fact that VDM was in Morocco for the World Cup, well, they met him and then he put out that particular video that did get attention. You remember that? Well, this time there's another video out of Russia. Students, the same complaint, basically. The same complaint. So Nigerians being stranded in a foreign country. And I also think that's worth mentioning what that does to perception Imagine being in a foreign land and you are in that kind of a situation. And those around you who become aware of that kind of situation are further left with a perception, as though the perception wasn't already what it was. Here you layer it on with another perception that truly gets to confirm whatever biases persons may have about you. And that's not even to mention that once again, and maybe it's not all of South Africa, maybe it's not all of Black South Africa, are now asking Nigerians to get out. I saw a video last night. This time around, it was a little mini protest in Ghana asking Nigerians to leave. And then the one I think is really at the top of all of this would be South Africans asking Blacks to leave. South Africa, Black South Africa, is asking another Black to leave. If you've been to South Africa, there's a part of this, like if this was not as painful as it is, there's a part of this that's near comical. The political parity in South Africa is just, you could taste it. It's in the air. You could taste it. If you breathe in too hard, at the pits of your belly, you would feel the weight of it. There are communities in South Africa where a Black South African can go into. Communities, and let's not even talk about the economic disparity in Cape Town. But some Black South Africans think, yeah, it's the Blacks. Let's ask, and it's their country. You know, it's their country. And they have a right to do with it as they please. But as an observer, come on, South Africa. Come on. These are your brothers, but I think you don't care. So we will talk about that. I don't know if today affords us enough time to touch on every necessity that we have lined up. So let's see what we can do with time. Welcome to Nigeria Info. The sun rises here. It's 43 minutes past 12. My name's Joyce. Another Monday on the sunny side. I didn't mention, oh dear, it's quite a lineup today. Okay, so over the weekend, last Monday, if you remember on the show, I mentioned medical negligence, something around, because my assistant was mentioning to me how his sister nearly died due to medical negligence. And I did say that I want to talk about it, except that what's the purpose of talking about it if every other factor that hinges its survival or its progress on the success of our medical system is also either frail, broken, or non-existent. Over the weekend, I read this news article of a woman who went for a fibroid operation, and the doctor forgot a scissors in her stomach. Now, reading this particular story, I decided to come to work this morning and ask my assistant to explain her personal story to me. And 80% of what she says to me is exactly what I got off the news article I read yesterday of this woman who died because a doctor forgot a scissors in her stomach. So now I'm reframing my understanding of what medical negligence can be. I can understand a person can get tired on the job, and maybe due to their own mental pressure or a lack of appreciation, under employment, underpayment of their worth on the job, lack of everything that makes the job a worthwhile venture. Somebody can truly be a moving corpse without the passion and the joy for the job. And the consequence of that can be situations as this. But is it also possible that something else is wrong? And is there a way we can fix this? So you would have an opportunity to tell us your story in a moment. Lagos, let's go to the Senate. Let's join them on their concerns. And this is a conversation we're well familiar with. Insecurity. Senate seeks campaign suspension in 8 northern states. And this happened Wednesday. Senate urged the federal government to consider far-reaching emergency measures, including the possible suspension of political activities in 8 frontline states as insecurity continues to escalate across parts of the country. Now, the states that have been listed as frontline states: Borno, Plateau, Bauchi, Benue, Niger, Sokoto, Kebbi, and Kano. So here we are. And these are, one, they're Nigerians. Two, there is the insecurity that they're dealing with. And then there is the fact that election is almost a few months away. And then there is how whatever we do or not do can disenfranchise a Nigerian come elections. And you know how important elections are. I think your biases of whether your vote will count has been dispelled. You're of fundamental importance. You are a deciding factor to the outcome of whatever happens in 2027. But here, even the Senate is considering suspending campaign in 8 frontline states. Now, what that will mean is left for our imaginations. So let's talk about how this could affect elections forthcoming. 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190, and on WhatsApp 08095975805. Should we be concerned, or is this a matter of little to no concern? But then, given that the nature of elections is all about outcomes, what do you feel could be the outcome, and how can a doing or a lack thereof inform the outcomes come elections in 2027? Welcome to the Sunny Side. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Nigeria Info.
Good afternoon.
So turn up the volume of your radio set. Tell us your name and you can go ahead.
Yeah, it's Emmanuel speaking to you from Ekwe. So I don't buy that idea of suspending elections in 8 states of the north. Yes, we need to face this insecurity headlong, but I feel it would be a way for the government in power to buy time or circumvent the will of the people. There are 3 things I will be clamoring for close to the election. That we don't want military takeover. We don't want stoppage of election in some region. And we don't want interim government. Because there was this country, was this a West African country, when the party in power lost election, or we were about to lose election, and then it was touted as that there was a military takeover. At the end of the day, it was the government in power who handed over the country to the defense minister. Goodluck Jonathan was in that country. And why was it? It was because they know that the party in power were about to lose election or has lost election. I think they conducted that election, but before the announcement of the results, the president handed over power to the defense minister, and then he touted this as a military takeover. The reality in the north is that if the northern leaders are ready to stop this insecurity, it will stop. Because this thing can't try for this long without the support of some traditional rulers, some religious leaders, and some political leaders. In Lagos State, for instance, in my environment here, where I'm speaking to you from in Ekpe, such a thing can't happen, for a long without the... See, the bottom line I'm trying to say is that if the leaders ready to stop this, especially the religious leader, it will stop. Personally, if I'm the commander-in-chief, there are some drastic measures I would take, People won't like it, but I would still need to take them, anyway. Is the stoppage of people going to religious center to acquire knowledge. I will do it for the Islamic religion, and to balance the equation, I will also do it for the Christian religion, at least for a time, probably for 2-3 years, because these people doing this are where they are getting their orientation, their ideology, and this thing has stuck into them, and they are ready to carry out anything, irrespective of whatever happens. How will you explain a mother who gave birth to a child, and that mother has been brainwashed to the extent that he carried explosive and killed herself and killed her own child? So, the moment the leaders of that region begin to, take steps to stop this nonsense, it will stop. That will stop election in some states because of this. I think foul play, is coming in. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you very much for calling me. I do appreciate it. We're Nigeria Info. Good afternoon to you and welcome to the show. Tell us your name and you can go ahead.
Yeah, Joyce, good afternoon. This is Chris. The Senate saying they're thinking of suspending election in 8 states. No way. Maybe they always tell us on their mandate we stand. And when you talk, their supporters will tell you, oh no, the man is doing a lot. Joyce, I keep on asking of Shettima. Borno is among the states, right? Hello, Joyce.
It is.
Borno is among. Kashin Shettima is from Borno State. Where's Borno? Where's Kashin Shettima that say I'm going to lead the fight? And for the security agents, the chief of staff, the commander-in-chief, they called him the other day, said, look, the man has given them all the tools they need to execute this war. So where are they? The security agents. Is it not a slap on them that election will come, you cannot go to a state to campaign? No, they must go and campaign, no. They must go and campaign, all these so-called senators and the House of Rep and whatever, all the politicians, let them go and campaign, let them go back to their various state where they come from. Ahmad Peter and Co. should make it mandatory, they must go there and campaign. Because they are telling us, the security did not start during this my regime. These people are failed. But we suppose, because of the what they call it, they have on the APC government, right from Buhari time, I've been saying it, 2017, as far as 2016, that APC has failed. But no, now you want to suspend going to campaign in a state. They must go, Akpabio and Co. must go and campaign in those states. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you very much for calling me. 99.3 Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side. Good afternoon to you and welcome.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for being here. Tell us your name. You can go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Thomas, calling from the Killer Island. You see, when you have a desperate leader that is so desperate for power, to continue to remain in power, those are the kind of decisions that you have. Other countries' members, U.S. Senate member will be debating on Nigerian issues. Nigeria will be debating on how to ban campaign in some states. You are banning campaign in those 8 states. What happened 2027 election? Will they still go out and vote? If there will be no campaign, will they still go out and vote? For me, it is just another strategy that the APC government is trying to use against the opposition here. They have not come out clean on this issue. Are there no better way that we should be talking, or Senate should come out with a proactive actions to stop the insecurity, to bring out the sponsors of the insecurity. The other time, the president called the minister for defense for state as a man who has experience in negotiating with bandits, the former governor of Kaduna, the former governor of Zamfara State. They are still there in power. They know the people, they know the sponsors, but there's no political way to do. The Senate is now talking of banning campaign in those states. So when you ban campaign in those states, what happened during the election? Will these people still come out in those states? Will people still come out in this state to vote?
I mean, it's under consideration. Hold on a second. It's under consideration. I'm just discussing this with you to find out whether you have any major concerns on how the outcome could be affected.
It will not work. It will not even work. It will not. If you are, okay, like I am from Benue State, and when you go to Benue State, it is not the whole of Benue State that has the issue of insecurity. We know the point. We know the flashpoint where there the issue of insecurity in Benue State, and you just wake up and say because they are calling Benue.
All right. Please pardon me. I must interrupt you because I'm due for a break. We'll be right back.
More talk, news, and sports after this. I found something inside my Nescafe Original 3-in-1 pack the other day. A unique code printed inside. Yes, so every pack of Nescafe Original 3-in-1 now comes with a code inside in the Nescafe Next Level promo. Just text the code to *7022# and you could win 500,000 naira cash, business tools, and training. Up to 1 million naira in prizes to be won. Promo runs until June 30th, 2026. T's and C's apply. Nescafe. Make your world.
Lagos, Nigeria. Your incredible
unforgettable football experience is back. It's Goal Fest 2026, the 10th anniversary edition. Join thousands of fans for the ultimate football party. Big screen action, live DJs and a hype man, games, food, and non-stop football vibes. And of course, live performances by some of Nigeria's biggest superstars. Goldfest is happening Saturday, May 30th, 2026 at the Balmoral Convention Center, Victoria Island, Lagos at 2 p.m.
Register now at www.goldfestnigeria.com.
Come and experience football like never before. Goldfest 10th anniversary. Sponsored by Squadron, Dark Rum.
Supported by Indomie.
Proudly refreshed by Pepsi.
It's actually a Goal Fest.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Nigeria Info, the sunny side. We're back to our conversation. Thank you so much for being here and welcome. My name's Joyce. What's your name?
Joyce, good afternoon.
Tell us your name. You can go ahead.
My name is Chinedu from Ogun State. As you're saying that we should come out, agreed.
Okay, I lost you. I couldn't even hear you. I'm not sure what it is you said or were trying to say. I'd like for you to call me back. Hello, Nigeria Info. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Joyce.
Thank you for being here. Please
Yeah, my name is Alex. For me, you believe this government that there will be no election. You believe them at your own peril. This government is full of propaganda. It is not possible. You know why I tell you so? Under Buhari, even when there was election, there was calm and there was no terrorism then. If you go and check, this is fact. So why not telling stories, cock and bull stories that there will be no campaign anyway? They know what they are doing.
No. They're not saying that there will not be campaign anywhere. The concern arose due to the matter of insecurity.
I heard you said a state, right? In those states, when the last election, were there no elections there? Were there no campaigns then? Would we say there was no terrorism then? But when it comes to election, you see everywhere become quiet and silent to let you know that these people know the games they are playing. So there's no denial about this. They know. Okay, when 2027 come, let's watch. You just put this on your left hand and hold it with a pinch of salt. When election comes, you see the terrorism will be calm, everyone will be peaceful. It is after the election you see these people continue their evil work. But I pray that this APC is never going to come back to that Congress of power. But these guys are evil people, workers of iniquity.
I'll appreciate your language be subtle and fair. Do not use a derogatory language, and I think you understand why. Thank you so much for your cooperation. I do appreciate. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Okay, so if you have just tuned in, welcome to the show. The Senate on Wednesday urged the federal government to consider far-reaching emergency measures, including the possible suspension of political activities in 8 frontline states as insecurity continues to escalate across parts of the country. Now, the call, which underscores growing concerns within the National Assembly over renewed insurgent offensives, followed a point of order raised by the lawmaker representing Bauchi Central, Abdul Ningi, during a plenary. So he says, and I quote the president, "We cannot continue to think that because we're in Abuja, therefore, things do not affect us." End quote. We're off on a break. We'll be right back. I'll see you on the other side of the hour. My name's Joyce.
Keeping you informed. Connecting you and bringing you deeper into the conversation.
Government snub 98 billion naira UBEC funds.
Okay, what is this that we are doing? Because we are too educated for what we have.
President has left Nigeria on their own as far as electricity is concerned.
Learning helplessness is making us know that the days of one are better.
It means that if we keep on recycling our leaders, we cannot get the best.
Okay, in which area? What? I beg.
This is where we need to revisit the way we look at internal policies.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
It's 1 o'clock.
The news update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Good afternoon to you, Lagos. I am Bluwatife Jigede with the news. The Lagos Task Force says it has arrested 50 suspected hoodlums during sanitation enforcement across Lagos State. Chairman Adetayo Akirile says the arrests were made in areas including Ikeja, Agege, and Lekiaja. He says the suspects will be charged to court as enforcement of sanitation laws continues. Our reactions are still trailing the Saturday sanitation exercise. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Ebon Adigboruwa, says the monthly sanitation lockdown is illegal and unconstitutional, accusing authorities of restricting movement. But Environment Commissioner Tokumbo Wahab says no court has stopped the exercise and urges residents to comply. According to him, the policy is in response to public demand for cleaner communities. And in politics, public affairs analyst Majid Dahiru has urged opposition parties to go beyond criticism of the APC-led government if they want to gain power. Speaking on Nigeria Info FM, Dahiru pointed out that Nigerians need stronger assurances following the Ibadan Declaration. He called for a clear manifesto ahead of the 2027 elections instead of what he describes as mere political talk. And finally, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi is in Russia for talks with President Vladimir Putin as Tehran steps up diplomatic efforts over ongoing tensions. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran can reach out if it wants talks just a day after canceling a planned visit by U.S. envoys to Pakistan. That's the news on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Buluwatife Jigade. The Sunny Side with Joyce continues.
This is worthy of note.
This is The Sunny Side. My name is Joyce.
Tune in to The Sunny Side with Joyce every weekday from 12 to 3 p.m.
Expect so much fun right here. 99.3 Nigeria Info.
We're back. 99.3 Nigeria Info. The Sunny Side is 3 minutes past 1 p.m. Welcome to the Sunny Side. Good afternoon to you. Tell us your name, please. You can go ahead.
Yeah, Joyce, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Tell us your name. You can go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Mahmoud. What I want to ask you, number one, they are trying to sanction some states in Nigeria for campaigning.
Bring that back. Did you say sanction? Could you repeat that? Did you say sanction? I cannot hear you. I may have lost you. Hopefully you're able to make it back. We will go to WhatsApp in a moment and then come right back to the telephone lines.
This one says, good afternoon, Joyce. Let us not be fooled by the government's decision to suspend political activities in the core north. This government has exhausted all means to establish a one-party system in Nigeria. Now they are attempting to sabotage the opposition parties, particularly because they have noticed that the ADC has gained significant support in those areas where they want to suspend political activities. After nearly 8 years under Buhari and almost 4 years under Tinubu, they are choosing to suspend political activities just 10 months before the election. I fear this government more than death itself. Emmanuel from K2.
But pardon me, Emmanuel, is it possible that you're ignoring the concerns raised? I think you have done a very good job of deliberately ignoring the concern. So I was hoping you would speak to the concern rather than speak to a bias that you hold against the APC. Thank you so much for writing me. I do appreciate it.
Joyce, that means the government has surrendered to terrorists. They'll be having their election while Nigeria is having their own election. You see that the government has surrendered to terrorists to have their own election in those states.
Now, I like the way you came into the conversation from. I like that angle. Now,
See, that's like related to the question I asked you earlier.
yeah, the government has to answer that. So is the government saying, well, yeah.
So we have surrendered. We know that there's insecurity.
That is one
in
thing
those
you
states,
can read from that particular
and we've left it.
possibility. Okay, well, thank you so much for
Good afternoon, Joyce.
writing me. Yeah.
I can relate to someone forgetting a piece of. Okay, this person's talking about the conversation.
We're
of-
going to get to the medical aspect
Yeah.
in a moment. So if you give me a minute, well, give me a few minutes. Yes, we'll get to the medical concerns in a moment.
Good afternoon in the studio. APC and their supporter will need Jiggy Bola to see the warning from Ibadan opposition summit. But APC is not inciting unrest with the fraud in the electoral laws. Olamide from Ikoton.
God knows I don't understand what you said. Who's Jiggy Bola?
To see the warning from Ibadan opposition summit.
What are you talking about?
But the APC is not inciting unrest with the fraud in the electoral laws. So it's not.
Is this for me?
Yes, it is.
Pardon me. I'm slow with this one. I'm not catching up. It's not too clear to me, but thank you so much for writing me. I do appreciate it.
My name is St. Gideon from Ikoton. APC is playing a dangerous game. They indirectly want to close those areas they know that the opposition party will win. Let them fix the insecurity in those states and allow campaign and election to take place.
All right.
We're
Thank you.
supposed to be talking
Telephone
about
lines.
fixing it.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Nigeria Info. Good afternoon to you. If you can hear me, I am with you. Name, I'll appreciate that. Nigeria Info. What's your name?
Citizen Gabriel
Okay, tell us your name. Go ahead.
from Olowura. My suggestion is that the president should hand over to the most senior military man, since he has no power over Nigeria again. Thank you.
And isn't it interesting that the first caller called in to say we don't want a possible military takeover? Nigeria Info, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the sunny side. What's your name?
Yeah, good afternoon, Lady Joyce. How are you?
Tell us your name. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, this is the Barrister Peter Oku calling from Mende, Maryland. Yes, Lady Joyce, I quite agree with the advice of the Senate that elections should be suspended in certain parts of the north.
Well, so far, campaign. Pardon me. So far, campaign. The conversation is still around campaign, not elections specifically, but the campaign. So my question is, if we suspend campaigns, then does that have a bearing on actual elections and the outcome?
Well, yeah, I think it's too early to say that the campaign should be suspended, and I see that as a warning. You know, like we should take it as an alert that the environment is not safe for election. But campaign can go on while adequate precaution should be taken towards the election. You know, I don't think people should start panicking on the issue of the warning about campaign. You know, but it is a warning. It is a warning sign for the government to take the adequate, necessary measures towards ensuring that the election will be safe. You know, so I don't think it's bad that the Senate is issuing such an advice. That is their job, and then the National Security Advisor should also corroborate the view of the Senate. If it is true that it is not safe, then the campaign should be stopped, you know, because we've not heard from the National Security Advisor. So that's my own contribution, Lady Joyce, my contribution.
Thank you very much for calling me. I do appreciate. We will go to WhatsApp right now to run through a few messages here. Welcome. It's 10 minutes past to 1 p.m. on Nigeria Info. Good afternoon.
So this person is talking about the Jiggy Bola that the other guy mentioned.
Okay.
He said it means Bola glasses. That's the glasses President Tinubu shared when he was Lagos State Governor, Afolabi. Yeah, so he was saying that they should use it to see well with the opposition party summit in Ibadan or something like that.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for the education. Thanks for the history class. I had no idea. I never heard that before.
Why should a government that's supposed to protect lives and properties tell you that campaign should be banned because of insecurity? Shameless people in power.
Not banned.
Lucky from Ikoyi.
Suspended. Suspended. And how do you think it could affect politics or all the people whom political decisions touch in this country? Is there a way that this may inform outcome if eventually there is an actual suspension? Because remember that right now it's just very much a consideration, and it does quite appear that it makes sense. In fact, I should just read exactly what Abdul Ningi says, who is representing Bauchi Central. He says, President, we cannot continue to think that because we are in Abuja, therefore this thing, insecurity, does not affect us. One of the things that we must do, and I want us to take this issue very seriously, it's either to suspend all political activities across this country or look at the frontline states of Borno, Plateau, Bauchi, Benue, Niger, Sokoto, Kebbi, and parts of Kano. He says we need to suspend activities in these states until we are sufficiently certain that the insecurity challenges are over, because we are not dealing with this insecurity issue at all. And I'm not blaming anybody. We cannot come here every time to lament. End quote.
Joyce, can I ask a question?
No, I don't have all the answers. 12 minutes past 1 p.m. Nigeria Info. WhatsApp.
Okay. My name is good, I beg. My name is Saint Gideon. Okay, this one says suspending those 8 northern states from campaigns. Does that mean the government have left them on their own? Looks like they want those states to create another country.
Remember that this is all still the consideration, and I thought the best time to consider a matter is when the matter is under consideration. So do you
It's
think
not up to us
how
yet.
is this going to play out in your own imagination? Welcome to Nigeria.
Joyce, for the fact that anyone can be thinking or considering that political campaign may not take place in 8 states in Nigeria when the general elections are here with us is enough to understand that this government has failed in all ramifications. It's an attempt by the current government to hold on to power at all costs, and we Nigerians are saying no. Campaign must go ahead in all nooks and crannies of Nigeria. Shame on the Tinubu-led government and the political party APC that sponsored him. Hello, my name is Usman. Currently, there are certain government officials in those states, and are they saying those officials are not in their office? Die state? I think you're trying to say, are they saying that those officials that are not? I don't know. Please
Are you
try
saying
to.
that the governors are not in power to
in those states? I don't know.
yeah
Please just try to
manage and deal with the
rephrase.
insecurity issue? Well, you
Good
know the answer
afternoon.
to that. Sure.
Good afternoon, Joyce. So they want to suspend campaign in such places, but will want votes from same areas. So people vote them into power to provide security. Now they failed and trying to avoid campaign there. They must campaign there. My question is, Joyce, how does campaign affect? How does it affect insecurity? How does it help or not help insecurity? Like, how does
come
campaign?
on, have you no imagination?
How? I mean, people are still living here. People are still going to market in these places. People are still living. Like, the place is still happening. Like, things are still happening in that place. So how does people going there and saying, okay, please vote for me, my name is this, my name, how does that even affect or help insecurity in any way? Because if they are saying that
it's not helping, it's that there's a threat.
So if people are campaigning more, then insecurity will increase.
You're really 20.
Joyce,
you sound like a 20-year-old. I mean, on one hand, I'm grateful for your innocence. On the other hand, it's this world will snatch your innocence away. Can anybody imagine the question, please? Telephone lines. Oh, dear Lord.
Okay.
Wait. Hello, welcome to the show. How are you, Nigeria Info? Tell us your name, you can go ahead.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon, thank you for being here. Tell us your name, you can go ahead.
Tony's my name.
Tony.
Yeah, thinking of suspending a campaign in some part of the north, in some states of the north. I think that's a true confession of admittance of failure of the government. Yes. they are telling Nigerians that there's nothing they can do in such states because of the situation there. So it means they can equally say they are contemplating of exceeding those states to the terrorists because they cannot counter them. I mean, that is my personal, that's what my personal thoughts anyway. Because if a government can tell you that due to non-state actors, they are contemplating of not doing what is supposed to be done nationally, it means they are telling us that they are overwhelmed. Yes. So I don't think, or the other way around, it could be a strategy anyway from them, because some part of the North have categorically told them that come this election, that they will show them pepper. So maybe it's a way of making sure that they don't get that pepper into their eyes. Who knows?
I mean,
or what do you think?
So we're gathered here today to think about it.
We keep thinking.
Appreciate your commentary and the thoughts you have left us with. Now we're going to have to think about that. But, I mean, it kind of makes sense, much of the submission you have laid on us, because what can it mean and how will that meaning affect election outcomes? Yeah? Yeah, exactly accurate.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling me. I really do appreciate it.
All right.
Can we go to WhatsApp and then, no, let's read WhatsApp messages and then I have to go to WhatsApp calls for a moment. Yeah, so WhatsApp.
This one says, Paul, he says, if they say no campaign, is it that they are afraid? Is it an indirect admission that the country is in turmoil, so they won't go to those states for their safety? If no campaign, no elections, I believe the elders have failed us all. Very soon, the roadmap will be those states are ungovernable and it's a pathway to handing over to the bandits fully. Paul, this one says, Joyce, yes, she's 20 truly. The politicians are scared of being attacked when they go for campaign. Is that simple to understand?
I mean, it's insecurity, so anybody would be concerned. So is that what does it mean then? If I mean, it's still a contemplation, but let's say, yeah, this kind of thing continues and the government decides, well, yeah, just for security reasons, we'll have to not go here to tell Nigerians that they have to vote come next elections. What would that mean for us as a people?
Statesman from Ile-Ife. Good day, Joyce. Dire straits means in a very bad... Okay, I don't think this is for us.
No, I think it's for us. Dire straits what? Mean dire situation?
Okay, in a very bad situation that is difficult to fix. So I can't remember anybody asking for the meaning of that. So that's what I'm saying.
Dire straits... Oh, he's telling us the meaning. No, but it could also be the body of his message. So can we read it?
No,
dire straits means what?
In a very bad situation that is difficult to fix.
I think he is telling us that we are in dire straits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's offering.
Okay.
He's taking the liberty to inform us that there's a shadow over our
possibly
head.
that's what we are in right now.
Maybe it's actually the lens through which we look at the world.
What's up, Cole?
Telephone line. Hello, welcome to Nigeria Info. Thank you so much for your patience. I do appreciate. You are on the sunny side. What's your name?
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Chris.
Chris.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to make a comment about what your co-guest in the studio was asking about. What happened? What's going to happen to the people living there? For me, it sounds a little funny. She's not able to think a little outside the box. Let me just say it this way: like,
no, it's not that she can't. You know, innocence is a really beautiful thing. When you've not seen evil, you really don't know all the contours of it. So I really appreciate the innocence, but I'm waiting for her to cry one day to me, like when they snatch her innocence away.
Yeah, she'll learn with the experience, I guess. So basically, the politicians are scared that if campaign takes place in those places, they might be a target. They don't really care about the citizens living there. You understand? They've seen us as our life is just like, So for me, those people, they are just wicked. So if you
Is
think,
it?
if you are
Let me
thinking
ask you:
about
is it
yourself,
possible that
yeah.
they care, but they have tried and have failed to really curb this? Maybe it's not a lack of care. What if it's a matter of capacity?
For me, there's a model that has been used and tried that almost worked. They could have got through that model again. It was the model that Jonathan used. He brought in mercenaries because for me, the military what's this word used? They've been compromised. You understand? Because they've infiltrated every aspect of the government. You understand? So for me, the only thing you can do is bring in mercenaries from a friendly country. Jonathan tried it at some point. It was working out when the United States didn't give him the weapon he needed to fight Boko Haram because of some sanction. You understand? So I believe the government knows what to do. This thing is not rocket science. They are just trying to dribble here and there. And this whole thing that they are banning in some states or they are thinking of banning, this is also a way of like, okay, what will happen to those states if there are no votes coming from those places? Of course, the South will take more of the votes of the APC and the other places. So for me, it's just the plan to rig the whole election. It really doesn't make sense. Fine, there
Concern
might
of
be genuine.
insecurity. You don't think it's a factor that should inform
There
your
might there
judgment?
might be genuine insecurity, but I have a feeling they know about it. This is their plan at the end of the day. You understand? I don't know. I might be saying it's conspiracy. It might be conspiratory, but for me, I have a feeling this is the final plan they have to ban election in those places, so the votes will be less, and then those southern part or eastern they will
Or it's still a
propagate their vote by.
consideration. So this may just be an honest to God concern. But I kind of
All
get
right,
how you
well,
may read it. I get how you are reading it. So maybe we have to keep our fingers crossed and see how this plays out.
no, definitely. Thank you so much,
So much for
Joyce.
calling me. I really do appreciate. The Sunny Side Nigeria Info. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
My name is Paul, calling from Lagos.
Welcome, Paul. Turn up the volume of your radio set, Paul, please. Thank you. You can go ahead.
I would like APC to go to Bono
I can't
and
quite hear.
also they should go to Bono and also what is the name of this place where they used to what is the name of this place? Go there and contest and also this place again. They should not run away from that place. So let them go to that place. What's the name of I forgot the name of this place. They should go there. They should not be afraid. What are those people they are killing? They should not be afraid.
Encouraging. Really encouraging.
Yes. And Zamfisa Forest. They should go there. Tinubu should go to Zamfisa Forest and campaign to those what name of those people serve, those bandits, whether they will repent or not. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Well, yeah, they want to go, but this very matter of insecurity truly appears to now become a setback. Can we do WhatsApp? Because I want to manage everybody before I go on a break.
Joyce, have you seen the clip of our politicians campaign in Japan? Just one man campaign, sharing flyers and without security. Why? It's simple, because security is tight. They must campaign that period. The primary responsibility of any government in power is to safeguard lives and property of the people. Is this government indirectly telling us that they have failed in that aspect? Are they going to deprive the people that are living in those areas of their civic responsibility simply because of their incompetence? This is not acceptable. Bright from Aja. Good afternoon, Joyce. Uzo Jesus from Ikorodu. If the Senate says no campaign in the north, how do they elect governors and National Assembly members? Or are they saying the sitting ones should continue to govern? Is that what they are saying? Joyce, my question is not even about what they think. My own is like, what are they going to tell us is their reason?
They're going to fashion a reason. I mean, one, insecurity is a reason. In my head, I think it's a laudable reason, except what does that mean? For a country to say, well, we're considering this. We're off on a break, Lagos. We'll be right back. We're 99.3. This is Nigeria.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
I found something inside my Nescafe Original 3-in-1 pack the other day. A unique unique code printed inside. Yes, so every pack of Nescafe Original 3-in-1 now comes with a code inside in the Nescafe Next Level promo. Just text the code to *7022# and you could win 500,000 naira cash, business tools, and training. Up to 1 million naira in prizes to be won. Promo runs until June 30th, 2026. T's and C's apply. Nescafe. Make your world.
Kids FM Festival is back. Join us for the Kids FM Festival.
A day of exciting games, music, dance, and family fun.
Happening on May 27, 2026 at the Balmoral Convention Center, Lagos.
12 p.m. sharp.
Kids FM
Festival. Bring your brothers, sisters, mommies, and daddies, and all your friends too.
It's the Kids FM Festival. Let's make memories full of fun.
Register now at www.kidsfm.ng. It's the Kids FM Festival, where family fun comes alive. Stay updated and stay locked.
Are we not seeing it like it's a thing that has been planted and is growing fruitfully?
We talk about justice. Can we get justice in Nigeria as it is?
Struggle to understand whether we are
When a lot of people are saying that government have hand in this insecurity in Nigeria.
They die on a daily basis. Enough is enough. We must put an end to it.
We know that Nigeria government, the law was made by the rich for the poor to obey.
It wasn't as worse as this, and I came to church with my suit and tie. I carried placard from church. We marched the streets of Lagos.
A number of men on maternity lines talking about how their partners have been behaving after childbirth.
It would have been better if the president did not even visit at all.
And take it to the National Assembly. Because if they can sleep at night, not worried about whatever it is that we are going through.
The conversation continues right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
And for you, we are back 27 minutes past 12 on the clock. So I want to give this conversation 10 more minutes, and then we segue to medical negligence. Yep, that's on our lineup. Nigeria Info. Good afternoon to you. My name's Joyce. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
Hello, Joyce.
Welcome. Tell us your name. You can go ahead.
Alex. Yeah, you might say insecurity might be true, but I'm telling you the fact. This is strategy by the ruling party. Okay, when there was issue in River State between a common minister and the governor, what happened? You declared state of emergency. Why not declare state of emergency in these 8 states? You said there will be no campaign. You suspend it. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, this is true. This is their strategy because they know those states, there will be insecurity for them, irrespective of having the military, police, and the army, and the DSS. This is strategy. So why are you saying that it is a concern for you? It is a concern for them because they know they've not done the right thing because they failed already.
Yeah, but you are a Nigerian. What is your reading of how this can affect election outcomes? You don't care for that?
I don't care because we've had election under the same terrorism under Buhari. What happened? Did you was there what do you call them? Electors, were they kidnapped? Were they killed during the election? No, let's say the first now. We all came out. I went and I voted, even though I'm not in North, but people voted in North. During those days, did you hear anything about terrorism? People being killed while going to vote? Let's check our facts now. When you're trying to get a robber, you have to look for clues, his loopholes. This is how you get a robber or a thief. So that is the kind of thing.
Well, thank you for calling me. I do appreciate it. We're going to go to WhatsApp and then come right back to the telephone lines and then just wrap this up. So WhatsApp, callers, thank you. Writers with messages, we're on you.
The primary responsibility of any... Okay, I think I've taken
one?
this. Good afternoon, Joyce. In the light of the insecurity issues in those 8 northern states, I firmly believe that the federal government is aware of the necessary actions to take, but has chosen not to implement them. This appears to be a deliberate strategy employed by the APC government and nothing more. James from Ibejuleki. Good afternoon, Joyce. Let's think of it this way. Is it that they are trying to scare the opposition from going there while they go there to campaign with security? Good afternoon, Joyce. Are they saying 8 states are now another country? Because if no campaign, no election forever in those states.
Well, if no campaign, is it possible that there can be elections? But then again, I think I'll kind of get your input, because if no campaign, can there be elections? Because the very same thing that prevented campaign can also be said to be what has hindered elections. So remember, all of this is still very much a consideration, and it's a necessary consideration given the fact that as much as we know, the very factor of insecurity and this country is a daily occurrence. So can I go to telephone line? So you want to read that one for us before I go?
Joyce, have you seen the clip of how politicians campaign in Japan? Just one man campaign sharing flyers and without security. Why? It's simple, because security is tight. They must campaign this period. They're saying, I think he's talking about the northern states, that they must campaign there.
I saw the clip, and maybe this is where Animal Farm. Where more countries, some countries, and by the operation of their law, some persons are more equal in this world. Some animals are more equal than others, because you see how some people, you can understand that the rule of law is not taken for granted, particularly by those who have power. And
himself just doing it. I mean,
it's like you're in London and you can see a minister on a train. It's not
a big deal,
and nobody thinks he's a poor man. You know, the system, particularly Europe, I'll say broadly, because that's what I've noticed in much of my moving around. You see that the system kind of covers poverty, so you really don't know who's poor. Yeah, because the system is managed in that way, and the person who is seemingly lower in social hierarchy is not being intimidated by someone who is higher, because the law attempts to. Because let's not assume that
it does completely.
It does completely. You know, it does quite attempt to be blind and fair, because that's the only way you can hold a sane society. Anything outside of fairness and the liberty of all men, you create a storm. You truly create a storm. And then you give justification to the rise of anarchists to come out from the darkness. Welcome to Nigeria Info. How are you?
Hello, Joyce.
For being here. Tell us your name. You can go ahead.
Good afternoon. This is the one of Odogbolu. You see, Joyce, it's a shame that a whole country like Nigeria, the largest black nation in the world, to say there is some state that they will carve out not to contest for campaign for election. It's a very big shame, because we don't know how we are going to show ourselves in other outside world. And again, are there no human beings living in that place again? What will happen to their own life? That's what I'm thinking. What about this? Are there no education there at all? Are there no road to enter the place? So if there is a road and there is a human being there, I don't think that if they say that, for them to travel to UK or even the Benin Republic there, it's a shame to them, because we are not safe again in our own country. Let God just help us, because I don't know what else we can say. Thank you.
All of you for your messages and for your commentary. I'm going to take just one more call, and we have to go to our second conversation lined up this afternoon. You are on Nigeria Info. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
Joy. Yeah, my name is Balaji from Ijogo.
Welcome, Balaji. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I think those people who commented that time that security under Tinubu has improved, and they are the same person now. They are the same people that are saying that they will not campaign somewhere. In fact, as it is now, this country now, if you know how many local governments that have fallen under the bandit and Boko Haram, you will be surprised. It's only that the press is not carrying it every day as it used to be, because they have limits too, and everybody is being cowed now. Even those people who came out that time to protest that bad governance they don't want. Jonathan should go, this one should go. Who is telling us that somebody should go now? In fact, Joyce, I have stopped going to church now, because the forefront general overseers, they are not saying anything, and that is the truth. So the truth must be told. Even the Samuels in the Bible, the prophets in the Bible, they told those kings the truth. So So let them continue to say the truth. Even those supporters who are supporting this bad thing, have you gone into new electoral law? If you go into it, you will see that all of us are idiots. That I boldly say that because we know that those things are being inserted into our law, and we have not done anything about it. Certificate forgery, all these things. If we eventually go into any election now, in fact, that is no election under the electoral reform. Please, use the press, just present that electoral reform to us. Again and again, because in some quarters I have read whether what I've read is not truth or not. In fact, I fail to believe that those things are into our laws now. In fact, you will be surprised. Even as it is now, these political parties can even print a ballot paper, because so far the returning officer will say that it's okay about it. It's okay, and that one goes. Who runs the country like that? And the supporters, we still have supporters who are still saying that this thing is right. This thing is right. In fact, shame on us. Shame on all of us. Shame on all of us.
Thank you really for calling me. I do appreciate. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. I did say that was my last caller. I did say that. All right. I'll go back on what I said. I'll take two more. Just two more. This is me attempting to accommodate as much public opinion as I can afford. Two more, and that would be it. Just two more. Hello, welcome to Nigeria Info.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you.
I'm calling from Nigeria. Yeah, so I think it's a valid concern that the senator is, because I've been asking the same question, like what's going to happen, because now these terrorists, they've gained more ground around those regions. So what happens when people go out for campaign? And for those people who are saying, oh, it is a plan to rig elections, so tell me, or because they don't want opposition to go there. If opposition go there, whatever politician go there, they'll go there with their security, and there's no how they'll go there to campaign without people coming outside. So just imagine if there's an attack there. What happens? The politicians will run away with their security, and the people will be left to their fate. So who will suffer the casualties is definitely the people. So for me, I think it's a valid concern, but then that goes to show that the government, when it comes to the matter of security, the government has really, really failed. They've really, really failed, and I really don't know what you are going to do, because if you are giving this warning, you don't know how it will be during the election. So is it that is there going to be election in those regions, or there wouldn't be election? Because as it seems now, I don't think there's any plan of stopping insecurity at any point or reducing the activities of terrorists in those regions. So it's likely that we are going to have an election in that place or not. And if it happens that election is going to happen in those places, then what becomes the fate of the people there if the terrorists to come out on that same day to attack people? So those are the things we are meant to think about. And if it happens to affect both the ruling party and both the opposition, so there's no one will be spared. No one will be spared. So it's not people saying, because they want to rig election. If you go there and campaign, wherever you are that you're going there to campaign, are you telling me the terrorists care to ask what party you are from before they carry out an attack on you? So people should really think about this thing. So I don't know what the government will do. As it seems, I don't think they can do anything at this point, because they are totally as useless as any other party that is going to come up or take over from them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you will be my final caller on the show this afternoon. I want to thank you all so much for your participation, but we have to go to another topic. Hello, Nigeria Info. Thank you for being here.
Hello, good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon, Teo.
Yeah, what is that? During the first term of Tinubu, when he went to Jos, he could not convert now. He could not outreach, because they start stoning them at the stadium, Township Stadium, Jos. So, and it was teleguided. So, and therefore, they could not do their work because there were terribly stones thrown inside the stadium where they were talking. So they went away without addressing the audience. So I believe they are still afraid of that, because they did not convert in all the northern states because of fear of stoning them. I think that is the fear they are still having now.
Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate you calling.
On the line.
Thank you. Okay. 39 minutes past 1 p.m. Thank you all so much for your commentary. Now, this is a moving story. Two things are going to happen. Elections are going to go on as per usual, or the challenges that get in the way successfully get in the way, and then we're going to have a situation where eventually Senate, as has been suggested, may carry out this particular idea of not campaigning in some areas because, of course, there are flashpoints on this very issue of insecurity. But it then leaves us with, what does that mean? What can it mean now and in the future? So we're waiting for this particular concern to develop. We're very much in the heat of it. We're a few months away from elections, and everything that needs to happen appears to be in the air. So fingers are crossed as we follow through on stories and matters as they develop. Okay, so with that said, we're going to quickly go off on a break. When we come back, medical negligence. It's interesting that as much as you think one random story isn't much of a concern, the problem is maybe it's not so random. 2, maybe it's not so distant. 3, what are the guarantees it's not happening now as we speak? What assurance do we have that it would not happen tomorrow to someone? And so maybe that begins to paint us a picture of how close to home this is, how serious this is. And I'm committing the matter to your hands. And this is me asking you, is there a way we can deal with the problem? It's interesting because as of last Monday when I heard it, I didn't necessarily neglect it. I just thought it was one of them kinds of stories so far out of reach that maybe it's important, but not today. And then over the weekend, I read another story. And to be honest with you, a person with a first-hand experience is sitting next to me in the studio. Pretty much just tells you how at risk the average Nigerian truly is when it comes to medical negligence and the reasons for it, or the issues that have brought about it, and what we can do, if anything can be done at all. We'll be right back. We are off on a break. You're listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side. And my name is Joyce.
What's that station again?
Oh yeah, Camo, come
No.
Here's one thing you need to know about yourself. So like here we dey talk.
Yep, bullseye. That's the one. You're listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info's The Sunny Side. The Sunny Side. Welcome. My name's Joyce.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We hold it to be worthy of notice 43 minutes past 1 p.m. So, April 25th, my sister died after a doctor forgot a scissors in her stomach. This is according to a sibling. She says, and we're going to try to run through the story to just touch through on what is the heart of the matter. She said, this sister had fibroid, and it was very big, as if she was pregnant. Even when people saw her, they mistook her for being pregnant. That fibroid was really disturbing, and she was married, but the husband left her because of the fibroid. Yeah. She couldn't give birth to a child, so the last time the mother tried to call the man to know why they were having issues, the man said to her, you know that your daughter has a problem with fibroid, which made her husband leave her. All right. And what happens now? I'm back to the message or the news article reported by The Punch. He says, the sister is reporting as though having fibroid is a crime. For almost 2 years, the husband did not show any concern. So the situation got her worried, and she really wanted to remove the fibroid to see if she could have a child. December 2025. We took her to the Air Force Base Hospital, but she declined. She said she didn't want to go there, and that she wanted to go to a particular hospital somewhere in Abule Egba, Lagos. Okay, so I guess eventually she went there, but she said that the hospital was, hold on. I asked her why she wanted to go there. She said because the hospital was not standard enough. Oh, I asked why she didn't want to go to the hospital, which she had objected to, and her response was, it's not standard enough. So according to this now victim of this doctor's negligence, which is a conversation, standard was her concern. and she thought one hospital had no standard in comparison to another hospital, which was a preference. But here we are with a story that didn't quite end very well. Okay, so I'm going back now onto this particular report. She says, but she said the hospital was good and that this new hospital, this new choice, was a good hospital, that someone had done their surgery there before, and the person who had a successful surgery in this particular hospital had recommended the place to her. All right, so let's just run through the heart of the matter. The hospital was not standard. What were you not satisfied with? Okay, good. When they got to the hospital, March 27th, 2026, she came to my house and we drove to the hospital. Meanwhile, that was the first time I would visit that medical center. We saw the doctor standing outside, but I was not happy. I was not satisfied with what I saw there. Okay, and then the hospital was not standard. Looking at everything there, it didn't look standard at all. March 28th. Very early in the morning, they came to call her that it was time for her to enter the theater. When she went in, exactly 7:22 a.m., we were there till 11:49 a.m. She had her surgery. It was okay. And they brought her outside the theater where there was a bench and they laid her there. She was there. She didn't even notice anything. I was the one who cleaned her mouth because she was already tired. When I asked the doctor what was wrong, he said she would come up and that I should keep calling her name. All right, hold on. I'm just scanning my eyes through this. The nurse, the other lady, took my sister out of the theater and gave her tea. So I requested that they let her rest well. After a while, 8:30 a.m. next day, they came back and said they wanted to take her upstairs. I was surprised that they could allow someone who had just had surgery to walk. Normally, she was in pain because it was a normal thing for someone who had just gone through surgery to feel pain. Hold on. Lengthy, sad story, so please pardon me. I'm scanning through to just get to you the part where this really matters to our conversation. Wednesday, her stomach started to swell. I called the doctor, asked what the problem was, but he said there was nothing. I refused to listen to him and insisted that something was wrong because her stomach had swollen. I asked that we do a scan and find out why the stomach was swollen, but the doctor insisted that there was no problem. They gave her an injection and set a drip on her. Wednesday, Thursday, the stomach was still swelling, and I kept clamoring that we should do a scan. But they said there was nothing in her stomach and accused me of trying to teach them their job. Then they said, what if they did the scan and nothing was there? I responded that I just needed to be sure because I was not satisfied with the way her stomach was swelling. I was bothered because of that. I never thought of scissors when she was complaining about the pain in her side. I was even thinking that they had harvested one of her organs, so I kept begging for a scan. Oh, that's even another part of a concern, the possibility of a harvested organ. But that was not the case. Okay, so the message continues. She had the surgery Saturday, and almost a week after the surgery, she was still in serious pain. Then they brought out a pipe, put it in her nose, started to drain something greenish out of her stomach. I said, Doctor, let's have a scan. But they kept saying, what is wrong with this woman? Do you want to teach us our job? Well, I told them that I just wanted to be sure that nothing was wrong. Blessing, that's the sister's health worsened to the point that she couldn't even stand up. At one point, they said we should stop giving her anything. We even stopped giving her water. And she was there without water or anything. I guess food would be the other thing. A new doctor came there to see her. It was the first time I saw him. He asked me questions. I started to explain. That was when I realized these people did not even have products for patients. Another issue with our medical sector. After I explained to the doctor that I had been asking for a scan, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that was how they gave me a letter to go do scans somewhere else. When I got to the lab where they asked me to go, just long story, she went to the lab. What did the scan detect? They did the scan and gave it to me. We paid 90,000 for it. When I read the results, it started with a metal. The result started with a metal was inside her stomach below her abdomen. At that moment, I cried and drove Blessing back to the hospital. One of the people who did the scan asked me to take her back because her condition was already bad, had really, really worsened. They were ashamed of themselves. I could see the surprise and shame all over them, but I didn't say anything. They did not say anything. And I just kept looking at them. I could have escalated it to their management, but the owner of the hospital was not around. The only doctor around was the one I gave the results to. All right, so I want to stop there. I think you kind of get the heart of the matter. So at this point, after repeated requests for scan to be done on the sister who had a swollen stomach, they pretty much didn't want to, but out of reluctance, they did. And the scan revealed that there was a scissors in the stomach below the abdomen. It just really leaves you without words. So I want my assistant in the studio to share her story. She brought this to my notice. She told me last Monday that she had a personal story. And I mean, I listened to the story, but thought, well, one of those things, you know. And then over the weekend, the last few days, I read another story. And we have found other stories, even within the year 2026, of people who have died as a result or near died as a result of medical negligence. So we are dealing with different kinds of issues. And we're dealing with issues that pretty much have led to deaths of persons, deaths that could have been avoided. So I'm going to let Joy speak for herself. And Joy, do me a favor. Mm-hmm. The heart of the matter. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so this is about a relative.
A relative?
So, yeah.
Okay.
So she gave birth at a private hospital in Bagada. So then after she gave birth, she left the hospital, you know, you're fine, you should go, you're done. So then when she left, she started noticing that she was always feeling pain. This person is a strong person, a really strong person. So she was like, this is not unlike me. I mean, I should be fine. Although she had tears and all of that, but she should get better, but it was not getting better in any way. So she couldn't sit, she couldn't do nothing. She was really struggling. So then she went to the hospital, I think about 2 or 3 times after she left. That, okay, I'm still noticing this, that. They were like, oh, they just were like, no, it's normal. I mean, you just give birth, so it's a normal thing. You don't have to do anything. They did not check nothing. And that's one thing that's always a problem. Check. So then she went again, she came back. I think the 3rd time. So she didn't notice that she was like, there was a smell coming out of her.
A foul smell. How many weeks after her birth, after she left the hospital?
This is about 4.
That's a month.
This is about 3 to 4 weeks, something like that.
Okay.
So then she went back again and said, I'm noticing this. This is a problem. The nurse was like, no, it's okay.
Even when she went with the foul smell?
Yes. It's nothing. Later on, like you said, let me just go to the heart of the matter. Then she met the doctor, and then the doctor asked her, you know, do this, do that. Then he pulled out, I think, I don't know what they call it, but let me just say a towel. Yes, like you said, something they used to clean up the blood and everything. He pulled it out of her, like pulled it out. And what this guy was saying, I don't want to insult anybody, but what this guy was saying was that, why haven't you come to the hospital all this while? Why didn't you tell her that something was left in you? Like, bro, how was I supposed to know that you left something inside of me?
The doctor was asking the patient,
why haven't you been in hospital to say this is what is happening to you?
Why did you not tell us that something was left in you?
This is what's happening to you. My son was telling her that, I mean, I've been coming here, not once, not twice. I've been telling them that something is happening. I'm feeling pain. He didn't want to hear nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys made a mistake.
He's trying to make her.
You made a mistake. You're not even
trying to blame her for what they did to her.
One thing that's like very, very normal everywhere. They don't see that, okay, this is what we did. No. And then they'll blame you as a patient and then send you away.
Exactly
what her talked to a nurse, and the nurse told her that if that thing had stayed in her for 6, I think the nurse said 6 weeks or 7 weeks. I think the nurse or the doctor that it would have led to death. It's possible that she would have died.
Yeah, because it's going to decay, and of course you can imagine what happens.
And that would be another story of someone that maybe if we hadn't even checked, just like she gave birth and something happened, and that's it, and we wouldn't even know that.
And it's interesting because patients complaining to doctors, asking doctors to check.
And they wouldn't.
And here we have We are going to go off on a break. When we come back, we have something to talk about. Nigeria Info. My name's Joyce.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
.3 Nigeria Info, the Sony side. Let's go to telephone lines. But maybe, I don't even know if this is a fair question to ask you, but it's a necessary question to ask regardless. So I will just go ahead and ask. Is there something that we have become or that has led to reports of medical negligence in the way we're just about to share with you a few of the stories we have found and reported? Now, these are the ones reported on the internet. And I'm wondering, is this a people problem, a government problem? Is it a mix of problems that is leading to this? Imagine having people die from preventable, and that's the painful part, that it's preventable. And so due to carelessness or lack of regard, someone dies. It almost says as though not much value is placed on care that is necessary for humans or human living. So what is the issue? And is this a question that you can answer? Because I don't think I can even answer it, but let's find out. We're talking on Nigeria Info. How are you? Thank you for being on the sunny side. Welcome. What's your name?
Good afternoon. It's Tilly. I'm calling back from Ikeja. So you see, this is not the first time we've been hearing about this news. I think what happened early this year of a lady in the north that also is, I think in Kaduna also, that a pair of scissors was also forgotten in her stomach. Yeah, it was in the news. Yeah. So I don't know. For me, what I would suggest, because since Nigerians don't want to learn, I feel like there should be capital punishment for surgeons who make such silly mistake. They should be sentenced to death after revoking their license, because they have no use on earth. Because how would you tell me, don't you count your tools before you use them on your patients? Is it like you're a mechanic who goes to lose a car and then is bringing out tools from his sack without, even a mechanic that goes to fix car in somebody's house, before leaving their house, he will check his sack to see, okay, is there any spanner missing or whatever, and then go back to check. But this one, I don't know the excuse they would give to say you're being careless. How careless would you be that you forget a pair of scissors in somebody's stomach? So for me, I feel there should be capital punishment for such people. Their licenses should be seized and they should be sentenced to death. Maybe if they have killed like 5 of these surgeons, they will learn a very. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't give capital punishment to over an error. It's an error. I don't think it's deliberate.
No,
I mean, we know it's not deliberate.
It's an error that costs. It is an error that costs life, because if your negligence costs somebody their life, you cannot bring the life back. So you should also set punishment for that.
Yeah, punishment, but not capital punishment.
Well, because I would not understand the logic in feeding such person in prison when you sentence them to 20 years. when you cannot feed the other person that you
All right. I want to thank you so much for calling me on Nigeria Info. Lagos, we're going to go off on a break. I'll see you on the other side.
Keeping you informed, connecting you, and bringing you deeper into the conversation.
Government snubbed 98 billion naira.
This is where we need to revisit the way we look at internal policies.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
It's 2 o'clock. The headline news on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
President Tinubu tasks new envoys on boosting Nigeria's image and driving investment, while the Nigeria Revenue Service debunks a fake vehicle tax notice circulating online. JAMB advances underage candidates who scored 320 and above in UTME to further screening. Loma credits effective coordination for a successful sanitation exercise. An analyst urges the opposition to present clear alternatives ahead of the 2027 elections, while LASMA reports 69 killed and 246 injured in Lagos road crashes in the first quarter of 2026. A Nigerian group in South Africa calls on the federal government and African leaders to act on xenophobic attacks. And Iran's foreign minister Arakchi meets Russia's President Vladimir Putin as President Donald Trump signals openness to talks with Iran. And that's all for now. I am Yvonne Okhaifo. You're listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info. Thank you for your time.
This is Sunny Side with Joyce on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
We're back. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Hold on, telephone lines. Keatonova, welcome. What's your name?
Hello, Joyce. Good afternoon.
Being here. Afternoon. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
The solution is because when there's no punishment, sanctions, and revocation of licenses, all these things will continue. Because we've had a lot of cases like this and what is being done. That's why, because if there's punishment and revocation of licenses, you think people, these doctors or surgeons will not be careful when they are having their operations? No, let's think about that now. If there's serious punishment and revocation of license that you know, or closure of that hospital, the first hospital know that this thing happened in the other hospital, and we wouldn't want your own hospital to be closed down or your license revoked for maybe 10 or 20 years. Would you tell me that most of the surgery that will be done there will not be successful? Yes, humans always have mistakes, but when there's a measure to reduce all these things, what do you think will happen?
Thank you so much for calling me. I do appreciate 99.3 Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side. Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for being here. Welcome. What's your name?
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon to you. Thank you very much for being here. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
Please, I don't want to mention my name. I want to be anonymous.
Sure,
I want to
let's
speak
try.
on this issue. I want to be sincere with you. I'm aware of the story, and I want to take my wife there for an operation. Sometimes I want us to do proper investigation before we comment on issues, even as scholars and presenters. My wife went there last year, December.
Pardon me, your wife went where? And who's your wife?
My wife?
Hold on a second. The woman who died, the woman with the fibroid who died. Is she your wife?
Not the woman who died. Not the woman who died. I took my wife there last year, December.
You mean the clinic, the hospital?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
And he did it for ovarian cyst, and he did it for my wife. It was successful. As I talked to you, my wife is fine. You will not even know that she went through operation. And when we were there, we met a young girl of 17 years old that had ectopic pregnancy. The girl was rejected from other hospitals. They brought the girl there. We met the young girl there. The man did, because of money, I think they charged 800,000. So when they brought the girl to the man's hospital, I think the man collected something less and extracted the baby from the girl's room and treated the girl. The girl was in the same room with my wife. And there are so many stories of people that have gone there for successful operation. I can tell you, the man is a very nice man.
Who are you speaking to?
very-
Hold on a second, please. Please hold on a second. You are speaking to a person. I'm speaking about a problem. I'm not speaking about a person. I'm speaking about a problem. So I'm not
Yes, I
sure
get you, ma.
what you're referring to here.
I get you, ma. What I'm trying to say is, for the fact that this happened, it was very unfortunate. But I believe there was a medical error somewhere. I think
That's what I'm talking about. But you seem
It
to
was
be
an
here.
error. It
You're
was
here
not
defending
intentional.
somebody.
It was not intentional. What I'm trying to say now is, it's not intentional. It was an error. I felt bad when I heard the story. I was crying inside because the man is a very good man. I was here last year, December.
Pardon me. I would like for you to not complicate this. I'm not speaking to a person. I'm speaking to a problem. You're doing what Bonbread did.
Oh, it was very unfortunate, honestly. I've been crying. I told my wife we'll be crying, honestly. If I wasn't there, I would not even call. I'm a very good listener to your station. I'm from Sherry, so I listen even to yours and others.
Excuse me. Again, you are inserting somebody. I am speaking to a generalized problem.
Yes,
you are
I get you, ma.
deliberately
It's just
inserting
it's just like
someone
painful-
here.
painful that this could happen to such a.
You are
such a
speaking
nice
and not
man.
listening. I want to thank you so much for calling me. Really, I do appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you very much.
Hello, the sunny side, Nigeria. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Good to have you. Go ahead.
Let me first of all react to the guy that said his wife was there, and I think he's just expressing his pity or sadness that the man, of course, he's saying he treated the wife very well, and then has had a track record, but then unfortunately this thing happened. So it does happen, but the issue remains that a life has been lost. So the doctor should take responsibility. No matter how good you are, what the question should be asked is, number one, is the hospital licensed by HEFEMA in Lagos? That's number one. Number two, what are the standard operating procedures? Every process. I was at Nigeria Info early 2 months in February. There are standard procedures. You come in, you log in, you're given a tag, you get into the reception, you say when it's time for you, somebody comes in and puts you on the chair by the side, you wait when it's time. Procedural. So how can you go in with a treatment and you go in at the end of the program? Can you hear me, ma'am?
I'm with you. Go ahead, please.
How can you go in at the end of the procedure? You don't take stock of what are the inventory of the things you use. A careless thing, how much scissors is about 4 or 5 inches, and you forgot it there. So they have to pay for it. They have to. But now let me tell you, Joyce, the frustration we have in this society is our legal system. The family of that girl that died, of that lady that died, should sue and get the billions out of those people. But you know what will happen? That case will be in court in Nigeria for 10 years. Those families will pay lawyer,
remember that this is like a common problem in the health sector. And I think it's necessary that we look at it as that. A problem that we have heard once too many.
No, Joyce, if somebody pays, if there's a scapegoat for it, Nigeria is a heaven of crime that goes unpunished. If you watch investigative discovery, you see crimes that are resolved after 10, 15, 20 years. You must pay for a crime. This is medical negligence, fine, but the family can sue for death caused by medical negligence. The medical association can revoke license after their own due investigation. They have the Medical Dental Council Society, that the regulatory agency for medical doctors and all that. But for the family, they can sue in a civil court. But the problem is they will go and hire a lawyer who will charge them maybe probably 50, 80, 90,000 per sitting, and the hospital will hire a lawyer. And the first law instance, it will take you 6 months, 7 months, 10 months, 2 years. I have a case in court in Nigeria. Over the past 9 months, it has not been mentioned for reading. So tell me what happens to you. We have seen people in court 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, but it is a judicial, it is in a political case. Godswill Akpabio's case that he campaigned for election, he campaigned for contested for 2 offices. They dispensed of that justice in 6 months. So that's the problem with our society. The problem with our society, people are not paying for issues.
Okay.
That is it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling me. I do appreciate it. I want to go to what we found on the internet, just so to share with you how widespread this concern is, and then we'll come right back to the telephone lines.
So the first one is the blessing. That's the one we talked about already. I don't think there's a need to talk about it.
No.
Then January 2026, at Kano, Aishatu Umar, a mother of 5, passed away after surgeons allegedly left a pair of scissors in her body during a procedure at the Abubakar Imar Urology Center in Kano. She reportedly suffered severe abdominal pain for 4 months before the object was discovered. She died during a corrective surgery meant to remove the instrument.
Oh, I thought she survived it. Okay, go ahead. Okay.
Then Ebi Dakolo, Bayelsa, 2025 November. In a rare survival case, a woman reportedly lived with surgical scissors in her abdomen for 12 years. Following a 2013 cesarean section at the Federal Medical Center, FMC Yenagua.
Okay.
The object was only discovered and successfully removed in late 2025 after her persistent pain led to an X-ray.
Wow.
Faith Enetome Boyo, Edo, 2026 April. A young lady died following an alleged unsuccessful appendicitis operation in Agenebode. Reports suggest that the doctor may have forgotten to sew the surgical wound properly, leading to complications.
Nigeria Info. 11 minutes past 2 on the clock. We're going to go to WhatsApp right now. Hello, WhatsApp caller. Thank you so much for your patience. And now I have just lost you. Thank you, but please call back. The Sunny Side, good afternoon to you. Welcome to Nigeria Info. You're on the Sunny Side. What's your name?
Okay, Nigeria Info. Lady Joyce, how are you today?
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Tell us.
Yeah. This is the barrister Peter Oko. I'm calling from Mende, Maryland. Yes. Lady Joyce, this issue of medical malpractice is quite rampant, especially in Nigeria. I have been a victim myself. My right leg was amputated because of malpractice, negligence due to medical malpractice. See, what I noticed, because I was at a time at Lut for 3 months. I was there, and I noticed, Lady Joyce, to be frank, that it is very easy to look at the way these doctors and medical practitioners work. The pressure on them, to be frank, is unbelievable. So under that type of situation, some of them, they make those mistakes unintentionally, to be frank with you, because they are human beings like us, you know, and the situation under which they work is not the best, you know. You see some of them literally just going mad because of pressure, no sleep for some days. So while it's easy to blame them, yes, one have to be considerate as a human being, you know. Lawyers are also guilty of legal malpractice, you know, but because of the pressure of work is there, so we have to show some understanding. That is my own contribution.
Thank you very much for calling me. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. WhatsApp caller, thank you so much for your patience. Thanks for calling Nigeria Info. Tell us your name. You can go ahead.
Hey, Joyce, how you doing? Sugar Daddy calling from Ontario, Canada.
Go ahead.
The way some Nigerians are talking, I'm at this point, I'm like, my shock is actually shocked right now. Politicians will steal money meant for billions. I'm like, and you don't even talk about death penalty. You see somebody, the first question you're supposed to ask is, why is this happening? okay, is it not still the same school that they went here, that maybe the ones that were able to immigrate outside of Nigeria went? Why are those ones not making the mistake? It is obvious that stress or the situation in Nigeria is actually affecting them, and they also need help. For somebody to come out and say, "Oh, death, death," I'm like, I just don't understand. So you didn't say how many politicians have you pursued with death penalty that you because it is obvious that these people are forgetting things. Yes, they should work on trying to what's it called, mitigate this, maybe by counting their instruments before and after, and insisting that okay, everything has to be accounted for. Put in strict measures, but I don't think they should be fingered for doing this. They're actually doing their job. I'm speaking from experience, because there are times that when I'm stressed, I can be holding on to my phone and still be looking for the same phone with the touch light on that phone. Imagine. It is obvious that these people are stressed. Rather than trying to point fingers, they should look for better ways to help them. We should start talking about how many hours are these people working in a day, how many patients are they expected to cater to, things like that, to help improve their working conditions. So if you start collecting their degree, how many of them, put it in mind that our politicians don't use these same doctors that we are talking about here, because all of them, they get headache today, they are on a plane out of the country. We need to do better.
Thank you so much
Thanks,
for calling
Joyce.
me. I really do appreciate. Thank you so much. 99.3 Nigeria Info, you on the sunny side. Welcome. Let's go to WhatsApp and hear what our writers, our friends are saying on WhatsApp.
Joyce, a similar medical mishap happened to my nephew last week. When he was rushed to the hospital for tummy ache, it was discovered that his appendix was about to rupture. The boy had been taken to the same hospital more than 7 times over the course of a year. The same hospital was treating him for sepsis instead of doing physical checks. In any discipline that requires tools before any work, the number of tools should be counted, and at the end of the work, the tools should be counted again. Some things are not taught in schools, not even in medical schools. But if we must cut a surgeon some slack for forgetting a surgical tool in a patient's body, then we should consider the working environment. A poorly lit operating room as a result of lethargy, as a result of overwork and poor remuneration, as some of the reasons. Be that as it may, every quack in the health sector should be fished out. Amber from Badagry. Trauma from K2 says, it happened to my sister-in-law after childbirth in 2019. I guess you wanted to say they forgot very big cotton wool in her body. Good afternoon, Joyce. Happy New Week. Can you imagine that caller defending negligence that have cut short many lives? This has been a big issue on medical sector. It happened to my big auntie of mine many years ago. The surgeon left scissors in her womb. There should be a serious sanction on this, on serious and incompetent doctors. Joyce, that man who is telling us that the man is a very good man, sounding like he's defending the hospital, is my suspect associated to the said hospital. With the very bad state of Nigeria medical sector right now, if you are everyday Nigerians and you have no reason to see or go to a Nigeria hospital, either private or public medical centers, thank God, because it's like medical centers in Nigeria are semi-mortuary. I advise everyone to know your body better, avoid smoking, stop drinking nonsense in the name of enjoyment. Going for medical consultant from Nigeria doctor here in Nigeria is almost close to death than doing self-medication. The anyhowness has spread to all sectors of the Nigerian system, and unfortunately, medicine is not an exception. Joyce.
But no, I don't think I agree with going to making a hospital visit is like a death sentence. I don't agree with that. There are instances though where there has been negligence, but it's not a grave sight. No, it's not.
Joyce, I think our concern is that it's happening too much. It's often like too much. I was telling you about my dad recently about the issue
please hold your thought, Lagos. I want to go to WhatsApp. I have a number of WhatsApp callers waiting. Hello, WhatsApp caller. How are you? Thank you for your patience. Good to have you. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
My name is Fred. Well, what I would just say is, first of all, the sentence, the final, what is so called capital sentence, is not even the solution. And the best thing is, The system in Nigeria is coerced. It's something that is unrightful. Hello, can you hear me? The
I'm with
network
you.
is
Yes, I'm
bad.
with you. Please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me now?
I'm with you. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So when you first consider the operating system of hospitals in Nigeria, the last time that I was in Nigeria, like 2-3 years ago, that I was in hospital, I have a heart disease. The doctor does not even know what to do. They will just refer me from one hospital to the another and so on. And then I discovered that if I need my life, I need to leave this country. And I left immediately. So we should consider our government first. What are the contributions even to the growth of healthcare services in Nigeria? Our Nigerian system does not contribute anything to support these doctors. They are not well paid. They are not. So most of them, if you ask most of the surgeons, they work more like 4-5 hospitals. They have different costs. So most of them, they will be in a hurry. They want to finish here and go to the next hospital. And it is supposed to be like that because most of them have run away from the country. So for me, I just believe that government should concentrate more on look at our government. Any little sickness, they will run out of country, go and treat themselves. How many times has the King Chad or anybody from the United Kingdom of America come to Nigeria for treatment? They get themselves treated in their own country. But we neglect our doctors, we neglect our health services, we run down to another country for treatment. So the fault is still government. Government should go back and fix our hospitals, get them well trained, give them normal equipment for them to survive.
Thank you so much for calling me. I really do appreciate your commentary. Thank you for being on Nigeria Info. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the sunny side. You're on Nigeria Info. Welcome. What's your name?
Hi, Lady J. Good afternoon.
Afternoon to you.
Mrs. Oakley. I totally understand the argument of let's consider our doctors, let's put them in mind and everything. But I want us to realize one thing, that a life lost can never be replaced. I feel strongly that any doctor that is overwhelmed, fatigued, stressed out, or tired has no business doing surgery. I don't stand corrected. And that's just the gospel truth.
So again, pardon me, you're not taking into consideration the lack of personnel in this country. Because if you say if he's tired, he shouldn't do it, he has no business doing it, there's a patient who's desperate for any kind of help. So it seems as though this problem has a domino kind of effect. Like one problem has created another kind of problem. So you don't have two problems now, you have four kinds of problems.
Okay. No,
I think it's loose to say, well, the doctor shouldn't do surgery.
Can
there is
you
nobody
work
else to do the surgery.
Pressure? I'm asking you a question now, Lady J. When you know that people's life is at stake, can you work under pressure, knowing that if a life is lost, you will be held accountable for it, and your neck and your job is on the line? Your license will be withdrawn. Can you work under that pressure? That's my question. It does not back up to do this thing.
Yeah, but you see, you are arguing as a healthy person. The person who is in desperate need of an operation will
I totally understand, Lady J. I know that in the medical sector here in Nigeria, we have so many things besetting us. I totally understand. But I am saying with what we have now, don't even start what you can't finish. Because Nigeria will fight you so hard that you would regret why taking up the initiative in the first place. And you understand what I'm trying to say, don't you, Lady J? That's just the gospel truth.
I mean, I understand. I just don't agree, you know? I believe I understand that. I just don't agree. And it leaves us both in the same quagmire. We're still saddled with the same problem. If he's too tired, he doesn't have the mental capacity for a successful run. Like he would truly be stretching himself to do a great job. Now, if he doesn't do it at all because he is tired And that would even be because another reason is if we don't have enough hands, then who else will do it? Don't forget the surgeon, for example, could be on call, but he's tired, but he's on call. We're off on a break. We'll be right back.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
I found something inside my Nescafe Original 3-in-1 pack the other day. A unique code printed inside. Yes, so every pack of Nescafe Original 3-in-1 now comes with a code inside in the Nescafe Next Level promo. Just text the code to *7022# and you could win 500,000 naira cash, business tools, and training. Up to 1 million naira in prizes to be won. Promo runs until June 30th, 2026. T's and C's apply. Nescafe. Make your world. Lagos, Nigeria, your incredible football experience is back. It's Goal Fest 2026, the 10th anniversary edition. Join thousands of fans for the ultimate football party. Big screen action, live DJs and a hype man, games, food, and non-stop football vibes. And of course, live performances by some of Nigeria's biggest superstars. Goldfest is happening Saturday, May 30th, 2026 at the Balmoral Convention Center, Victoria Island, Lagos at 2 p.m. Register now at www.goldfestnigeria.com. Come and experience football like never before. Goldfest 10th anniversary. Sponsored by Squadron, Dark Rum, supported by Indomie, proudly refreshed by Pepsi.
Stay updated and stay locked.
Are we not seeing it like it's a thing that has been planted and is growing fruitfully?
We talk about justice. Can we get justice in Nigeria as it is?
Struggle to understand whether we are
When a lot of people are saying that government have hands in this insecurity in Nigeria.
They die on a daily basis. Enough is enough. We must put an end to it.
We know that in Nigeria government, the law was made by the rich for the poor to obey.
It wasn't as worse as this, and I came to church with my suit and tie. I carried placard from church. We marched the streets of Lagos.
A number of men on maternity lines talking about how their partners have been behaving after childbirth.
It would have been better if the president did not even visit at all.
And take it to the National Assembly, because if they can sleep at night, not worried about whatever it is that we are going through.
The conversation continues right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Nigeria Info, the Sunny Side telephone lines. You're welcome. Tell me your name, your Nigeria Info. Tell us your name.
Hello, Joyce.
In here, tell us your name. Go ahead.
I quite agree with Ms. Ubori. She has a point. But one other thing we need to consider, what is the relationship with doctors and the patients after operations? Like now, you know how these bottling companies, they cork their bottles in production rooms. You cork which bottle, fill it up, goes out to where they package them. After doing surgery for a patient, you have to get feedback and ask your patient how they feel. The doctor should even be thankful for the sister of that lady giving you feedback. This is how she felt, or she's perceiving this odor, and you are not making her to feel. See, the relationship, most of these doctors, I'm not trying to, we don't need to balance this up. After doing operation, you need to get feedback from your patient. But some doctors, you see them ego. They will want to make you feel as if you can't teach them their job. You know that you're trying to teach them their job, but you're making them to understand that this is the situation. So that if it calls for emergency, for you to go for emergency scan or checkup, then quickly they should do that rather than losing life. Do you know what it means to lose life? And that caller, I said him and his wife is crying. He should understand that we callers have our reason for saying this. We have also tasted this kind of situation. I myself, based on ignorance, not me, but a family member. So don't come and defend what you don't know. You're saying this to make sure that we correct the error that is going on. It's before on the government, because they've totally failed. Those are the number one copy in all the situation. But for surgeons and doctors, a a good relationship matters after operation on your patient. That's
Your question, is it possible that psychologically the reason the relationships are not established, this relationship you're talking about, the reason it hasn't been established or we don't have it is also because the environment is corrosive, the environment is caustic, the doctors are tired, they don't have the luxury to be friendly and kind, and maybe they have personal problems of their own, so it's made them partly manic.
I get everybody have personal problems, but in your professional duty, you have to do. Like now, if you're a military guy, it means that if you are in a ship as an engineer and your ship is being attacked and you know the right thing to do, that will make sure your ship is safe to save the whole crew in that ship, and you make an error, who will be blamed?
But I also think that you're ignoring how much personality plays and how much environment plays on human character. If you're in a conducive environment, you can truly afford friendship. If you're in a caustic environment, if you're in an environment where you have a lot of snakes, if you're in an environment where, you know, your boss is not a good person, or he's not kind, or he's not friendly, then chances are you will not be friendly. I'm saying that there's a role, or if you grew up in a home where your father was, you know, for a certain kind of personality, maybe it wasn't so socially acceptable, then chances are that if you are in that kind of environment, you are most likely to become the influence from your environment. I'm not excusing the doctors. I'm saying that is there something else we're not looking at where the environment is one factor that has denied these persons both, because if you don't have it as a personality, then your environment will take even the little that you have. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess it's
here. Thank you so much for calling. It is which is also something I'm trying to psychologically split open is, do we really have the answer to? I think we have the answer. The question is, can we afford to deal with the problem? Because, I mean, look at the issue the Miss Oboli raised, which is if a doctor is tired, he doesn't have any business with surgery. That's even a doctor. And a serious matter as surgery. Mm-hmm. There's even the surface level of misdiagnosis. Mm-hmm. I know someone who was misdiagnosed. She was pregnant, and she went to a hospital here, and they were about to have surgery conducted on her. And so she travels to America, and she calls me from America and tells me she saw a doctor, a specialist, blah, 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 and they just gave her painkillers and adjusted the baby.
And she was done.
And she was fine.
And that's it. Just like the woman that talked about her nephew.
She actually called me on the phone to yell in my hearing how she was just about to have a surgery in Nigeria. And, you know, she went to see her specialist doctor and they just adjusted the baby and gave her painkillers and she's fine. I'm saying we're ignoring how the environment takes a toll on psychology and how psychology informs personality and character. I want to say thank you. We're going to discuss this again. We have much laboring to do on this particular topic. The sun has set. My work's done. My name's Joyce. I'll see you tomorrow when the sun rises, hopefully on Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.